Project Phillips. Okay, so I'm going to talk about two stuff. Some Synth ID, that's some watermarking stuff for AI and specifically Google, and Project Phillips. And how I want to navigate that. So I'm going to start off with Project Phillips because that's what's on my mind more. That's a lot, but it's an easy one to talk about. So, for Christmas, I'm going to Nigeria. It's going to be really awesome. I'm going to spend some time with family, have a nice Nigerian December. Um, and yeah, there's not much else to say. The only thing that I find tricky is the situation with Project Phillips because, as I've expressed many times, I'm trying to wrap it up. Um, it might be difficult to do that in Nigeria. I suspect it will. Also, for some reason, I really want to use the sword for some image thing. I don't know if I have to, and I haven't really shot any scenes with the sword, so that might be an indicator of what's to come. Because really, there's about 11, so yeah, about 12 days left in the month, which is 12, is it 12 days of Christmas? Anyways, there's like 12 days left in the month, so they, I don't know how it's gonna go. Personally, my bet is that it's probably not gonna finish by 2024, but if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not I'm just I don't want to say I'm going with the flow, but I'm really adaptable to both situations. Now, in terms of Google Synth ID that I mentioned earlier, Synth ID is basically Google's watermark for their generative AI models. So with the imaging, with Gemini, with VO, like the image, video, and text stuff, they have these watermarks to kind of identify what's AI or not. And it's really interesting because I just learned about that now. I know they were developing this, but I didn't know it was already implemented. With the text one, the way it works, from what I understand, it just changes the way AI works or large language models work when it comes to text is that they can't predict the probability of what word will come out next, right? So it's like what if you ask me a question about like um what's what makes music so enjoyable, the idea is to figure out what words, how likely these the output is basically meant to choose the most likely words to respond that like from the data set, what are the most likely responses from stuff like that. So what the Google Synth ID essentially does is that it creates a pattern of the probabilities of words, so then you can kind of get a better sense there. But it's not foolproof. So some stuff that work to kind of get rid of that watermark or translate into another language. Also just doing like a full paraphrasing. So that's interesting. So I was really worried for a second. Not that I do AI essays or anything like that, but so I don't know. I said I was worried, but like I was always curious because when it comes to AI checkers for like writing, there's a lot of AI checkers out there. I was wondering how like reliable they are, and from what I've seen, not that reliable. But then I was also thinking about is that if every I'm sure they probably use something similar, but like if every big AI company has a different AI different like synth ID watermark pattern to check for, then it's kind of hard to see if it's AI or not because it's not all the same, right? So that's something that came to mind. Then with the image one and the video one, that was the one I was really interested in because it was kind of I still don't understand it. Basically, it's in the pixels, like in the noise of the video and image. I can't really explain noise, but just search it up. I was wondering, like, there's definitely some ways to counter that. And I started reading this research paper. I'm trying to find the name of it right now because it's slipping my mind. A really good research paper. I'm going to link it in the chat. Basically, the research paper is talking about this method to kind of get rid of that watermark or even forge watermarks in some cases to kind for different use cases, sometimes to incriminate other users or just to give something the sense of AI. Just forever you can imagine. It's called Warfare Breaking the Watermark Protection of AI Generated Content. Really cool stuff. Really interesting. It was basically just like I'm going to try to explain it as best as I can, but I recommend reading the paper, try and get it to summarized. So basically, you have like an image or a video, right? I don't know how well it works in videos, but let's say you have an image, and basically, this image already comes with the watermark because you can't access the data set without the watermark, so you can't train on that. So you have the image with the watermark, and the idea is to denoise it, and then after you denoise it, you can kind of this is where I get confused. After you denoise it, you do some tricks and essentially get after you denoise it or you get more of the noise. You can try and see the similarity and get other images from an AI provider, an AI image provider. You can probably select the pattern, and then from there you can use like a model to kind of change it and get rid of that noise. Or I think let's get rid of the noise entirely, so you have an image without the watermark. I'm still wrapping my head around it. I'll link the research paper in the chat. Essentially, it's not foolproof either, but I do think it's a good hindrance. I do personally prefer this one to the one used by Sora, because Sora's one is really just like it's right there on the video, which I don't think. For one, the model wasn't that good, and then two, I think they probably have something inside the actual pixels, the noise of the video, but I just don't like the water tag because it's like it makes it less usable, right? And if you want to use an AI video for non-nefarious purposes and it has a water tag, it kind of it makes it like I'd rather use another AI video generator, especially when that's not the best one. So I kind of prefer Google's approach of keeping it unknown to like just the average person, right? And if the average person is using it and they have like some nefarious purpose in mind and they're not that smart, then they're going to use it and they're going to get flagged. So I really do I prefer that approach. But I do find it interesting. I really like looking into it. And something I'm finding now is that I do like looking into research papers more, because what I find is that although I don't understand everything initially, like once I get a point of the research paper where I don't understand a concept, I just search it up. I'm like, okay, what's this term, or what's or I get ChatGPT, and this is why I love AI a lot. I can get ChatGPT and kind of have a conversation with the research paper itself, and be like, okay, well, explain this to me, kind of change, like summarize this or paraphrase this for me so I can better understand it. So that's something I'm looking to do more now. I actually have something I'm trying to do more now with a lot of these AI companies and just tech companies in general. They do have these research branches and they release publications there. So what I'm trying to do is essentially just start reading more of those publications, summarizing them, maybe even doing content on them in some project that I can't disclose more details on as of now. Um, but I think it'll be cool. One thing, I was skimming through another paper the other day about Google, how they had this AI robot that they were basically, it was basically like practicing ping pong, which was really cool. And it was actually being like average intermediate players, like 55% or 45% of the time. I'll also try and link that paper in the description of this video. But yeah, so that's something I'm going to be trying to do more in the future, just looking more into research papers themselves. I know something I've been doing for the past couple of weeks now is just scrolling through these different Reddit forums, as nerdy and as nerdy as that sounds. I've been scrolling through different tech forums, specifically like OpenAI, Artificial, which is just artificial intelligence. They also have an artificial intelligence subreddit. Just going through different ones. I'm just trying to find anywhere I can access information. I love to do that. I do think it's beneficial, just to get different insights. I know I found out about this. There's this new AI generated 4D model that someone is working on, and I wish, yeah, it's Genesis 4D world generator, and the idea, from what I could grasp, is that it acts like it gives you a 3D model that you can look around, like you get different views. Because a big thing, I don't know if this is a big thing for the research paper or the research, but a big thing I've noticed with AI generated content is object permanence, where like the objects and the image or video do not stay consistent, if that makes sense. I guess more so in the video. So it'd be really cool if this really does work and it can get like, if I could generate something, I can get like different views. I'll also link that in the description. So still trying to grasp my head around all these stuff, but I do think there's some really cool stuff going on. I do think I was talking about with some friends about how this is probably going to create some jobs where you have people who are actively working to detect AI, and that's why the cybersecurity market, I don't see it diminishing anytime soon. Especially what might actually happen with the computer science. A lot of computer science people are complaining that the job market is not looking really good right now, and from what I've seen, it doesn't look that good. So maybe more people will swap over to cybersecurity, because that's an industry I believe is booming and it's set to continue booming with every innovation technology kind of needed to be secure. So yeah, those are my thoughts. But long story short, traveling to Nigeria, looking more into research papers, and that's pretty much it. Besides that, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.